What is going on, guys? If you don't know who I am, my name's Benji. I own a Voodoo Blue M4 that I custom ordered. It's a competition xDrive, and I ordered it at MSRP and not above. Can you believe it? In this video, we're going over all the modding plans I have for this M4, what I already did mod-wise, and then what future cars I'm considering to add to the collection. 4 of the essential mods I've already done to the car, and then the last 5th one is the one I would do next, so keep on listening to find out what those are. All these mods, future mods in cars, don't have like a time limit or certain deadline. Because YouTube makes zero money, I don't rely on that. I have to rely on my actual job. And at the end of this video, I will tell you how I plan on adding another car and how I plan to afford that car. So don't miss out on that. So first, let's get into the mods I've already done. So far, the mods I've done are partially cosmetic, partially performance, but I have no tune to really back the performance mods. So if you're wondering while I tell you all this, what shop got the parts and did the install for me, it is Part Score in Scottsdale, Arizona. But the first thing we did as we got the car, probably in the first few days, we took it to Part Score to get it lowered on H&R Sport Springs. And then we put burger tuning spacers on it to fix the overall stance of it. And then second, I took it back to Part Score. They did CTS catless downpipes, and somehow they managed to get no check engine light. They installed something maybe by the O2 sensor just to hide any check engine light, and it never came on. Like 2,000 miles later, still nothing. And then the third part I did was CTS cold air intakes. They sound really cool while letting go of the gas, or when you're giving it like half gas, you can hear it getting the air into the intake, so that's really cool. These two intake and downpipes would match really good with a tune. These two mods with the tune would go so perfect together. I haven't done that yet, but more into that later about the tuning. And then the last and 4th thing I did on the M4 was Apex wheels. It's more like a track setup. I added Toyo R888s on it. My plan for that was just to have a spare set for track use, and more on what will replace those later. They're supposed to improve traction and all that, but I don't really have opportunity to test it yet on the track or on the street with some performance. But they look cool and they are really loud up front. But these are basically the 4 things that are essential to do to your car. That's basically lowering the car, doing intakes, exhaust, wheels, and then a tune would be the 5th one. Now let's get into the mods I've planned and want to do. It could change over time as new things come out or my taste changes. But as far as cosmetics, I want to do more carbon fiber around the car. So like a lip, maybe Vorsteiner, some side skirts, and then something on the diffuser, and then for sure a lip on the trunk, like a little spoiler that is a little taller than the stock one. These will probably be all different brands of carbon fiber, just because I don't like just one set. I like different parts of different sets to combine in one and make it my own pretty much. And I don't like anything over the top crazy. I just like more sleek looking. I'm also considering powder coating my brake calipers. I was thinking like a yellow or voodoo blue to match it. And then while I'm there, I'm also thinking about maybe powder coating the apex wheels like a bronze or something, or a gold. I've been wanting to do the seat belts in like a voodoo blue or yellow to maybe match the brake calipers, but I'm yet to find someone who does exactly those seat belts in the color I want. And besides the seat belts for the interior, I'd probably just do the steering wheel, do something Alcantara, maybe carbon fiber, we'll see. And I would love to get some BBS wheels for car shows and like just daily use. I don't daily the car, but like for whatever I use the car for. And then put the Apex wheels on the side just for like track use, or if I need more traction for whatever racing. They were cheaper than BBS, so I got them first to have something fresh looking, and then later on I'll add on the BBS. But that's it for the cosmetics that I can think of. Maybe grill, I don't know yet. I have to take the bumper off and replace a sensor. So then it's basically free to put the grill in there. But now let's get into the performance parts. So the first performance part you can probably already think of is the tune. I'm kind of waiting for a flash tune that doesn't require DME unlocking or taking all that stuff out and just having the car down, and you have to pay extra just for unlocking. And then like a month later it's released and you don't have to unlock it anymore. And I don't want to piggyback like JB4 or anything. The dealer can still track that, and it's not as effective as a flash tune, so I'd rather just drive it stock until an option comes for flash tuning it. And then once it's flash tuned, I would just go straight to a flex fuel E85 tune, make over 700 wheel, and then maybe since it'll be flex fuel, have the option to just put 91 and run that, just depending on the situation. And then I want to do more to the exhaust, either like a full catback is an option. Like my last M4, I just removed the secondary cats and then left the rest of the exhaust. But an option is definitely putting some kind of mid-pipe with resonators and just leaving the mufflers, stock mufflers, for the flap option to have. And lastly, I would consider doing like some kind of turbo upgrade, pure turbos, Kratos, whatever, just to make more power and see how it is, how it feels. It's probably fun. But maybe I'll just save it for the next car I add on for the turbo modification. Just keep this one more for looks and maybe full bolt on or something like that. Now, here are the next cars I'm considering adding on and my plan to afford them. There are 5 cars on this list that I'm considering, and the range varies from like easy to afford to harder to afford. One can be easier to get, the other one might take longer, it's harder to achieve. So let's get into that list. So let's start with the crazier ones, which is more of a stretch on the list. Would be a Lamborghini Huracan or an Audi R8 to make it a little easier to afford. Those would be cool for the V10 sound, and then later on adding twin turbos for even crazier sound. That's on the top of the bucket list. So those are the 2 cars. Let's get into the 3 other ones, which are all Porsches, and they're all 911s at that. And those 3 are 911 Carrera GTS. That's the only Carrera I would get. The GT3, I'm not sure which one yet, but at least the 991.1. Maybe the RS, but that would be crazy, just like a Huracan stretch. And then the other one is a 911 Turbo 991. Maybe the S, we'll see. The Carrera GTS and the Turbo are both really great platforms. They can be easily tuned. They have turbos, and you can upgrade or tune those turbos to make them just crazier than the BMWs. The 911 Turbo is a great car for straight line, but it's all-wheel drive just like the M4, so it might be too close to that, or just close enough. Carrera GTS is a little smaller turbo, smaller engine, but it's still crazy potential for the turbos, and it's rear-wheel drive. I would get the ones with rear steering, that's for sure, to be like the GT3. It would be great for track use, maybe lower boost with that rear steering and everything. And then would be crazy higher boost, and then going for straight line power. The rear hook's really good with the engine in the back. Plus it's the cheapest one on the list pretty much. GT3 is a crazy track weapon. It sounds insane, probably at the same level as the V10s. But there's no turbos, no tunability stuff, maybe a little bit for the engine. So basically do like an exhaust tune, and that's about it that you can do with that car. Now let's get into the way I plan to afford all these, or I mean at least one for the next add-on car. So the way I plan on adding and affording this next car is to expand and build my business. There's a lot of opportunity and I'm leaving it on the table, so now no more, I'm expanding and growing. It's all in the early process now. It's about to start the journey. And with some luck and skill, I'll be ready to add on another sports car without becoming bankrupt. It sounds simple because I said it in like 2 sentences, but it's pretty difficult. And we'll see where it goes from here, hopefully up. But yeah, what car do you guys think I should add on next? Anything off this list I gave you, or anything off the list that you may know of that is at the same performance level as the other 5 I told you about? Because we need to make another video. Best car maybe under 150k, 200k. We don't want to go under 100k because we already have that car. And what mods should I do next on the M4? Anything you like off my list, anything you know of that's outside of the list, let me know in the comments. What would be the coolest thing to see for you guys on this M4? But I can't wait to do more car stuff, more mods, more cars, and show you guys everything that I do with the cars. Hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with everything on this channel with me. And thank you guys, appreciate it for getting this far, for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next week in the new video. I will break down how much it costs to own an M4, everything A to Z. So subscribe to see that video next week in exactly 1 week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.